Can't get in, but we interviewing. All right, all right. Everybody, community, thank you guys for joining us live. You're live with Coach Sheldon Harrison, Akeela, Akeela Al-Hameed,
Al-Hameed.
and Al-Hameed. I'm sorry. See, I messed it up.
Okay.
I'm sorry. God, it's not good. And
Say it right.
Mason, arrogant, trying to get me in trouble. Guys, thank you for joining us. We're going to kind of break this thing, coming off right. Going to start you off, guys, with some of Akeela's talents. It's good. This girl, she's on a roll. She's on a roll to do her thing. Eric, and just let me know if y'all can see it.
All right,
Probably
let's
can't.
go for it.
Okay. Got the screen showing. Can you see it, Eric? Can you guys see it?
It has not
Yep.
popped up on my end yet. She said yes, so that's all
A
it
little
counts.
bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
Dang, Eric.
There it is. I got it. I got it.
Oh, shoot. Oh, hell. I messed this thing up.
I always say, who likes to lose? My mom always taught me you can't fight nobody that won't fight back. So, if you don't want to fight, then okay. You'll probably lose anyway.
All right, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, appreciate you guys joining us today. Eric, you want to go ahead and start us off?
I do want to jump in. If everybody comes in, remember, as you come in, hit the like button, hit the like button. As you come in, go tell somebody. We have Akeela here. It's going down. Akeela, you said something in the intro. I just wanted a little clarification myself on. I love the line that you said. My mom said, you can't fight nobody unless they fight back. What does that mean? Tell us what that statement means.
Well, I don't know. As a kid, I grew up fighting a lot.
Mhm.
I grew up in the era where you played outside a lot.
Yeah.
And, she just always said, pretty much you just can't fight nobody that won't fight back. If they won't fight back, then don't fight them at all. There's no point. They already gave up. They already quit.
Well, you jumped into another question we like to ask right there. You jumped right into something I was going to ask you next. You said you grew up fighting a lot. It's funny when we bring fighters in, you hear all these different backgrounds. Some fighters never started fighting actually until they walked into a gym when they were 22 years old or something. You said fighting is something you grew up with. So basically, you've always been a fighter, right?
Yep. I've always fought.
I hear you. So how did you take it from fighting outside in the streets? And shout out to the kids who grew up in the era where we used to go outside.
Yep.
I'm with you right there, kid. I'm with you. Coach, I know you with it. We used to actually go outside. Kids today never take a step outside. It's crazy.
Yeah, we used to cry to go outside. Now you got to make kids go outside.
Exactly. It's crazy. Like outside, we would come home from school, do our homework, and run out the door just to get outside. So not like that anymore. So when did you start, Akeela, going from, fighting in your hood and whatever, fighting in your neighborhood as you grew up to actually saying, I want to do this for real? When did you start training? What is your background? Tell us about how you got started.
So I pretty much played sports all throughout my childhood, all throughout high school, did a little bit of college. And then I joined the military. And before I got deployed, a buddy of mine, I stored some of my personal stuff at his house. And he was a fighter. And he said, you look like you beat the shit out of somebody. I'm like, well, I don't know, maybe. And he's like, when you come back, come to our gym. And I'm like, all right. So I showed up to Spartan Martial Arts. I think that was 2014 when I got back. And I got the shit beat out of me. And I thought I was tough. I thought I was the hottest thing on the block. And this ex-professional, she started back up, Kelly Coble. She fought Gina Carano and, all those big-time people. She beat the shit out of me. And I was like, you know what? I'm coming back tomorrow.
That's it.
And I just keep coming back for the mass whooping.
You just keep coming back and taking them. What was it like? What was it like growing up? Because from the sound of it, when you tell us that you fought coming up, I don't think you lost a lot of fights on your way up. So when you actually walked into it, I figured you had a pretty good record in your neighborhood. That's just me going off the top of my head. But when you actually got in there and you got rough, hold on, I think we might have an echo going, Coach. Somebody, is that your echo, Coach, on the end?
Is it me? Oh well,
Let's get
okay.
that echo straight, just in case we do. We want everybody to be able to hear Akeela. Let's see. You started and you went into the MMA gym and you got beat up really bad the first day. What was it like when you went home that first night? It's good that you came back, but did you think you were in over your head at all, or did you know it was something you wanted to keep doing?
No, I was fascinated that there was a lot of stuff that I didn't know about fighting, even though I fought so much, and
Mm-hmm.
and it just made me want to learn more. And I wanted a little bit of revenge.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
So like I need to learn this shit because I get that back.
Yeah. You hear, Coach? You hear, Coach? Coach, you hear?
Oh, so Akeela,
Yeah,
you making your Invicta debut.
yeah.
I mean, and listen, I mean, like last time I talked to you, when I asked about, like your debut, you was like, well, I don't know what's going on, but, but I'll let you know when stuff go down through the pipe. And then, I follow you on Facebook. So I look on your page and Akeela finna get in here and whoop up on somebody named Felica Spencer in Invicta. Like what? Like it just,
Uh-oh.
everything, people start noticing you. Like, and now you signed to Invicta. Like what? I mean, how does this make you feel? Because I think I'm more excited than you are.
Yeah, it happened so fast. So I had a fight for LFA December 15th against Laura Sanchez,
Okay.
and I really was just focused on that fight because I mean she was 6'1", but I swear she was like 6'4" stepping in that cage. So
Wow.
I was focused on her, and after that fight, the next day my coach called me like, "You ready?" I'm like, "Ready for what?" He's like, "You got to sign this contract." Oh shit, here we go. All right, and
Yeah, I mean,
it just
you
happened fast.
but you should have expected that because come on, I think you remember I told you the toughest fight that I thought you was in, who I thought was skillful was it was Marissa Ellis.
Hmm.
Everybody else, you completely smoked those girls. I mean, I'm just being honest. I'm telling you straight up. It was only one person. The rest of them, they was too easy for you.
Hmm.
I mean, it was time. It was time.
But there was a couple. There was a couple that's not recorded for the Muay Thai. I've had a lot of Muay Thai fights,
Mhm.
and it was tough. It was tough. But I don't look past any of my opponents. So this fight with Laura Sanchez, I was just looking at her. I wasn't looking at the next day after or the fights after or anything like that. I just knew I needed to beat her.
Absolutely.
That's
Now,
exactly.
Akeela, let me ask you this because this is exciting. And like Coach said, we sometimes we might be more excited. We just get real pumped over this. We know your
Hmm.
first Invicta fight is coming. How is it like when you're coming into a fight like this? So we know this is your debut here. You and your team, are you guys ramping it up now for this fight, or is it business as usual? What's going on with you and your team as you guys come into your first fight on Invicta?
Oh, there might be a little bit. There's a little different stuff that we might throw in, but year round is training camp. I don't stop
Mm-hmm.
training. So um, after this fight on the 15th, I took that I took the 16th off to go watch some other teammates fight, and then I was back in the gym on the 17th. So if I'm not injured, if I'm not hurt, I'm training year round, and it's the same thing. I'm learning all the time, staying in shape. So it's nothing too different. Just keep working and keep being smart. That's about it.
Well, I got our first hashtag, Coach. What I like to do, Akeela, as the fighters come in and you guys start talking, we pick up on the hashtag. I got my first Akeela hashtag, Coach. You ready for it?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
The, the
Let's
first
get this.
the first Akeela hashtag is hashtag the grind don't stop. That's
Yep.
the first hashtag.
Oh,
That's the
Yep.
first one for Akeela.
I
You
love
feeling that
it.
one,
I love
Akeela? You feeling that one?
Yep. I'm feeling that because
That's
it don't.
right. Don't stop. It's a 20. She said, because it don't. It's a
It don't.
24-hour thing. And I think, Akeela, a lot of people don't know that about you guys, know that about you fighters. Like, this is not just something when we see you guys fight, we're going to see you on your debut in Invicta. This is something you live. This is like your lifestyle. This is not, as they say, this is not a sport that you can play. You're not playing. when it's fighting, this is not, you have to be serious about it. Can you speak on fighter lives the lifestyle of a fighter?
Yeah, Cecilia Breakfast said that. You can't play boxing. It's
Yeah.
the same thing with MMA. There's so much to learn. I mean, you got jujitsu, you got wrestling, you got Muay Thai, you got boxing, and then you got to put them all together. So you can't just, oh, I'm gonna do an 8-week camp or so many week camp, and then I'm gonna fight, and then I'm gonna take some months off. It don't work like that. You're gonna get left in the dust. Everybody is evolving. Everybody is getting better. So if you ain't hurt, then you need to train all the time. You need to eat right all the time. Um, all that partying and all them clubs, that shit ain't going nowhere.
That's right. That's right.
So you just
tell
grind.
some of these young fighters.
You just grind. That's it. And a lot of people, they say, "Oh, I don't have time." I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning just to start a workout. Well, I got stuff to do all day, but I'm gonna try and maximize my 24 hours. I wish I had more, but
There you go.
you got to maximize those 24 hours. So
That's gonna be
huh?
that's gonna be a quote. Like what you just said. I'm
Yeah,
gonna record that, and I'm gonna make another intro video for you. It's gonna start off with that. No, I'm
that's
serious.
legit. That's
Yeah.
legit. But
Yeah.
it's true. You gotta start cutting out the stuff that don't matter, and start good time management, because that's what it's about. Is the time management. Eat at a certain time, sleep at a certain time, train at a certain time, and just stay disciplined and do what you gotta do.
That's right. And coach, what I see here, coach, I was gonna say this to coach. What I see here is a fighter who is locked in, who is like determined to make it happen, and I see a fighter who is going somewhere. Coach, as you look at Akeela, as you've broken down her fighting style, tell us, for the people out here listening, break down her fighting style. Tell us what they're gonna see when she makes her debut in Invicta.
Akeela is rough. She's skillful, but she real rough, and it's brutal. It's brutal. Whoever fighting her is brutal because I feel like when I watch you fight Akeela, I feel like that you're not trying to give up any of the octagon. Like you take control of the octagon, you begin to body the person, and it's like when you start clinching them, that's when they're in trouble. Like I noticed like in most of your fights when you clinch, that's when you do your most damage. I mean, your stand up from the fights that I've observed. See, I'm telling you, when I talk to people, I look at everything,
Mm-hmm.
and from fight to fight, your stand up has gotten like significantly better from fight to fight, and you're doing things now that you wasn't doing when you first started.
Mm-hmm.
And but every fight, your clinch gets rough. It gets rougher and rougher and rougher. And it's like now, all that Muay Thai training, you're throwing all these knees, but then you're throwing combination. You're throwing good exit elbows on the way out when you have to separate. I mean, you're doing a lot of different things. And then also too, I like how you use your head control. I'm just like, God, dog, man. Anybody that fights
Coach, did I lose your mic?
I think
Oh,
Eric, I think you cut off my microphone, Eric.
Oh, I
And
did. Okay, I did. It was me.
yeah,
Oh, it was my. Okay,
and
my bad. I cut your mic off.
yeah, but yeah, that's what I see when I see her fight. So she's physical, man. Golly, physical and just aggressive. Like even you saw in the intro, she hitting the guy in the midst.
Absolutely.
Not like she kneeing the dude. Dude look like he about to he about to piss his lungs out his mouth. I mean, she kneeing the cat so hard.
I'm gonna tell him that.
I mean, he looked like he was like, dang, I wish he stopped kicking near me so hard. Damn, this supposed to be just pad work.
You coach, you already know that's what he was thinking. I saw that on his face too. He was like, man, how much longer is this gonna last? He looked like he wanted to say, calm down just a little bit. Don't do it.
But then, Akeela, every time I see that portion of that clip with them knees, I think about what you were doing to Marissa Ellis. God, dog, boy. I mean, she took some punishment. I mean, y'all was giving it, but man, toward the end of the fight, another level. Like you start taking them hits personal. Like, it's like the more she hit you, the more aggressive you got. Like
Yeah.
she'd tag you, and then you kept you got like even more like not even angry. You just got aggressive. And I'm like, damn, this girl. I said,
Yeah.
man, Akeela is gonna make it. Like she really got the skill set. I'm glad I'm interviewing you right now.
That's awesome.
That's
Me
right.
too. Me too.
Me too. Let me jump on that train. Me too. I'm glad it's going on right now too. Akeela, I wanted to ask you this really quick because Coach touched on something I've noticed when I watch her fight. We always say it's a sort of, we call it a more of a country statement. I'm actually back home now, spending the holidays with my family. I'm looking at my dad as I say this, but my dad used to always have a thing he would say when we were watching sports, and I didn't understand it as a kid. Why? That might be him coughing right there. If you hear him, sorry about it. He's choking up on something. But he had a saying that he would say, we'd be watching boxing or fighting. He would say, oh, they don't like to get hit. And I would say to myself, like, Dad, what do you mean nobody likes to get hit? But then as I started to notice what he meant, some fighters react. Getting hit is part of combat sports. You're going to get punched, you're going to get kicked. Some fighters react really bad to it, and some fighters react well to it. You seem to be a fighter that you don't react bad to it. It's not like, of course, you don't want to get hit, but what's going through your mindset? Like when you receive a punch, I've seen you're able to step through it and keep moving forward. What's your mindset on the whole taking punishment thing in combat sports?
So I don't like to take punishment at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think long term, it's really not good to get in there and just brawl. So I don't like to take punishment. I focus a lot on head movement and moving my feet. And when I do get hit, most of the time I don't notice, but I feel a touch, but I don't feel the blow, if that makes sense. And I get pissed off that I get touched.
Uh-oh.
I told you.
I think that's why I get aggressive. Cause I'm like, oh, you just touched me. No, I gotta hit you a couple times now. Now I gotta piece you up a little bit.
So, Coach, what do you think when you hear that? From your coaching background, Coach, what do you think when you hear a fighter say, "I don't notice I get hit"? Basically, she just gets mad and she wants to get aggressive. How does that make you, like, as a coach? How does that make you feel when you hear athletes speak like that?
That's good because you don't have to spend your whole time, trying to give them motivational speeches to get them to go do what they're supposed to do.
Exactly.
Because, sometimes, you do want to encourage a person, but God, some people, I feel like all I do is I need to record some of this and make some money because I feel like I'm giving them a sermon every day,
Yeah.
but she seemed like the type that, hey, you know what? I know what I got to do. I'm finna get in here and get this done. Look, you ain't got to talk me to death. Look, this girl hit me. I'm finna go in there and I'm finna deal some damage. And those are the kind of people that they're self-motivated. Like they know what they have to do. They get up. You ain't got to tell them, hey, look, you know what? You got 10 left. Well, and I think if I told Akeela, hey, we only got 10 reps left, but let's just go and take them off. She'd probably be like, nah, man, nah. Let's go and get this work in. Come on, man. You need to stop BSing with me. Let's get this work in. Stop playing.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel that just talking to you, and I've kind of kept up with you, through Facebook, but really actually talking to you again, I'm usually good with athletes and character, and you just personified that kind of character. You
Thank you.
say what you're gonna do, and then you go out and do it, and you're not afraid to actually say, "I'm finna get in there and I'm finna whip this girl PG-13 channel. I'm finna whip her tail," and then you just go do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Akeela, does that come from would you say that your aggressive fighting style, what Coach is saying, he's seen you, we've seen you when you are in the octagon, does that come from your upbringing, you think, of just you've been fighting for a long time? Where did you develop that? Is that just part of your personality? How did you come about being that aggressive style fighter?
So when I first got to Spartan, uh, there were no females at the gym other than the coach's wife, Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
So it was all males.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the shit beat out of me every single day
Man.
for about 2.5 years. All males, all fighters, all sizes, all different strengths. And sometimes coach would put us in a dogfight situation where 4 males would tag team me 30 seconds and just beat the shit out of me. And after a while, he would just yell, "Get aggressive."
Mm-hmm.
And I would just be swinging, just going for it. and then I trained with a couple boxers too, a couple professional boxers.
Mm-hmm.
And them dudes hit hard. And they don't stop hitting. So you got to hit them back.
Yeah.
So you got to get aggressive.
Got to do what you got to do.
So basically, you went in, you took some whoopings, you kept coming back every day. and you made it your purpose to come back and try to give out the butt whoopings that you took initially.
Yep.
And so, did all those gentlemen get paid back, or did you, do your
Nah.
best? And okay, so do you
Nah.
still have? Okay,
Yeah.
so let's go ahead. Let's do this. Let's call out these guys that you want to get some payback. Let's call them out right now.
Travis
And
Krasinski,
Uh-oh.
coming for you.
Come on.
And Randy Santiago, I'm coming for you.
All right.
God, oh, hey, Randy.
Tom Metten, I'm coming for you. And Ryan Potamon, I'm coming for you.
I love it. I love it.
Joel, I'm coming for you.
I love
A long list of other ones. They know who they are.
What a long list, girl. You must have been taking some ass. You took ass
Man,
whoopings.
I'm taking ass whoopings day in, day out.
So what did they do? So did they just find a new person just to beat you up every day?
Yeah, and everybody at the gym, we train hard, we train smart, and everybody's getting better. So no matter how much better I'm getting, they getting better too.
Mm-hmm.
And they care about me. They love me, they respect me, and they don't treat me like no little girl.
They go in there and make, and that's, I think that whole thing makes you better though. That whole thing, as far as you being aggressive like that, it's only them fighting you like that and training with you like that is only making you better. It seems to only be improving you as a fighter, as an athlete, as a warrior, basically.
Oh,
and Akeela, what is your preferred weight class? Like, I know a lot of times fighters kind of take the fights in a couple of weight classes around where they might prefer, but where's the weight class you want to set up shop and make your home in?
I don't know. 135 is okay, and 145 is okay. Either one. It really doesn't matter to me. I mean, 145, obviously, I'm not cutting as much weight. 135, I'd be cutting a little bit more. But it doesn't matter.
The reason we asked that is because Coach has a few people he wants to see. We know you're just making your Invicta debut now, so Coach has a few people he wants to see you get it in with. Now, Coach,
who do you want to see?
She said 135, and she said 145. Akeela just asked you, who do you want to see? Coach, who do you want to see Akeela get into that octagon with?
Megan Anderson. God dog it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. Heck
Another
yeah.
tall one.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yep. I want to see that fight all day, every day, any day of the week. I sat back, I watch it. I keep watching.
She's from Glory, isn't she?
She's from Australia.
No. Oh yeah. Well, she didn't move to Glory MMA.
You know what? I can't tell you. I don't even know. I know she was training. She was training in Kansas City at one time, but I think she's back in Australia now doing her training. Good champion. And she was actually God, she was the Invicta champion at one time before she went to the UFC, and she gave up the belt and went to the UFC. Yeah,
I watched her fight Tweet.
Yeah. She won the title on that Tweet fight. That's exactly right. She won the title on that fight. So, Akeela, now we know Coach said Megan. Are there any names, if you look out there, we're not trying to make, I always say, we're not trying to make you call anybody out, but if you want to call somebody out, feel free to do so.
Wait, Eric.
Wait.
What did you think about that fight when she fought Tweet?
Fight?
Oh, yeah.
It was a good fight. I think that if Tweet's nose didn't have the problems that she had from when she fought Cyborg, because I think that's probably where her nose problems came from. That nose is busted.
Yeah. Maybe
it could have went longer, but I think once Megan got a hold of it and really opened it up, she gave up. But I thought it was a good fight.
Yeah.
I'd like to see more ground though from both of them. I would have liked to see him go to the ground.
And this is where you come in.
Yeah.
This is where you come in, because see, now, let's say if you'd have been the one in that fight between either one of those, what would you have done to actually finish the fight?
Blast double.
God. yeah, that's what I'm talking about. See, Eric, I told you. This is what I'm talking about.
You were right, Coach. You were right.
So, hey, let me ask you. So, in this matchup, what do you know about Felica Spencer, the one that you're fighting in Invicta?
So not a lot. I know she's 3-0. I know she's I mean, not a lot. I know she comes forward, uh, and she looks pretty heavy. About it.
Well, I'm
But
glad. I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked. I'll tell you. Um,
yeah, tell me. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, he is. He's gonna give you a breakdown, Akeela. Go ahead, coach. Give Akeela a little breakdown right here.
she like to come straight ahead, with little to more to little to no head movement. But she can take a good shot. But definitely when you throw your strikes, her head's gonna be there because she's not gonna move it. Real strong, though, very very strong. Got a little bit of power, but the skill department, slipping punches, dodging punches, stepping back, it's just not there. Like she's only got one direction, that's straight ahead.
Yep.
That's all. So I mean, you with your skill set, and not because I'm interviewing you, okay, but with your skill set, you could finish this fight in about 3 or 4 different ways. It's gonna be picked the way that you want to finish it, because
Mhm.
the skill favors you. The skill, okay. She's got a little bit more size on you. She's probably strong, but I think the skill set favors you in this
Yeah.
matchup, and I think
Yeah.
that you're gonna go and control the octagon like you always do.
Yeah. That's the plan. Really, the plan is to uh, fight the fight that I need to fight in order to win. That's
Now,
just the plan.
Akeela, I want to ask you this because I love to ask when we have fighters here. I think it's important because you guys, always, I say this a lot of times when we're giving you guys that. That's why it's always such a privilege when you guys come through. We talk about it. We talk it, y'all walk it. I love to say that about fight. We talk it, y'all walk it. So you can give us perspective on things that we wouldn't necessarily get a chance to experience ourselves. What are you doing? Like when you're in the octagon, do you hear? Do you hear the people on the outside saying "killer, killer" or stuff like that? Or are you just so toned in? Do you only hear your coach? What do you actually hear as you're actually getting the fight going, as the scrap is happening?
I hear I hear my coach and I hear their coach. That's it.
Oh,
And more
oh,
more
interesting.
more than enough, I hear their coach.
Mm. Coach, nobody else, coach, you ever know she's the first fighter to say, I hear, because most fighters say, I hear my coach. She said she hears their coach too. You're the first one I've heard to say that's interesting. So when you are hearing their coach, like the coach is giving her
Mm.
instructions, are you trying to kind of be ready for what the coach is saying? Like if the coach is telling them to try a takedown on you, is your brain thinking, okay, she's getting ready to do a takedown. Now I need to defend the takedown. Is that how you're kind of managing the fight?
Sorta, because people can be tricky.
Oh,
They can say takedown, but then they mean punch.
mm,
But I more so listen to the advice that their corner
mhm.
is saying, if that makes sense.
Yes. Hmm.
Like in the last fight, uh, her corner kept telling her to double jab and throw her cross. Well, she wasn't throwing the jab at all. She just kept throwing the cross. So you
Hmm.
just start to pick apart what their corner is saying, and listening to your own corner. Listening to your own corner
Hmm.
is easy. You do that every day when you hear your coach's voice in the gym. That's just too easy. But if you can listen to their corner too, that's a huge plus.
Wow. So, coach, what do you hear when you hear a fighter, coach? Say what Akeela just said. When she says, "I'm listening to my corner," I'm also listening to their corner. I'm processing all this information, and I'm fighting. What does that say to you about a fighter? What does that say to you about Akeela, coach?
It means that they are aware of everything in the octagon. That means they're aware of everything. And a good fighter, they are aware. And it's good because you got to have all your senses about you when you're in the octagon. Period. If you're lacking in one area, even your sense of smell is needed. It's crazy how all these senses you have to have them. And if you're not listening, because they could be telling her, hey, let's try to put Akeela, let's put Akeela in a guillotine. She can't handle the guillotine. Well, what is she gonna do? You think she's gonna hear that and then let you put her in a guillotine? No, that's gonna be a hell no. She's going to do everything now because now she knows. Oh, she's trying to put me in a guillotine, so let me really do submission defense now. Okay, well, hey, let's get you back against the cage. Let's get against the cage. Okay, well, I mean, do you think they're gonna let her get against the cage so she can stand back up to her feet? No. So what is she gonna do? Go back against the cage to get up so she can stand up to her feet if she's on the ground. I mean, it's really a lot of it really is common sense, but some fighters they don't listen to the other side. I
They
mean,
don't. They don't.
I would, and I see fighters that do that. Even Floyd Mayweather.
Yep.
He he actually, when he's in between rounds, he's looking at the other corner to see, if the corner is in disarray, if they're getting stressed out. And Floyd observes his opponent. I mean, it's weird how he can do that from across the ring. So I got to give us some serious props for actually doing that, because it's like you in there, you're fighting an opponent. Okay, then you're trying to drown out the crowd, and you're secretly fighting the judges. If they favor another fighter, then you're secretly fighting. You're secretly fighting. Okay, I just got hit. This person just hit me. Okay, now you're fighting that. So you're fighting a lot of things, and then you got the wherewithal to actually listen to the other corner. That shows a great fighter and a fighter in the making. And Akeela, I know sound like I'm really like I'm hyping you up, but actually I'm telling the truth. When I first interviewed you the first time, before I even talked to you, I had tried to find so much information on you, and I was like, this is another fighter. This is another fighter that's going to be successful. And you don't have the time to waste, because you started, and is it safe for me to say that you started a little bit later than you wanted to start? Or did you start earlier, or did you start later?
No, I just started late.
Okay. Yeah, well, see, and you don't have the time to be messing around. So I understand your attitude, how you approach everything. So you definitely, Invicta is just the start for you. And I'm just telling you that straight. Invicta is just a start.
I believe that. I second that.
Thank you.
Oh, you hear
I'm excited for the opportunity.
And I like the fact, we talked about this, and I like the fact what I want to say, because I think it was really cool to hear you say that, because when I see a fighter say what you said, Coach, you even mentioned Floyd Mayweather. When I see a fighter who is paying attention to everything going on, this is a fighter to me that can grow, that can continue to grow, because they have the mental capacity to process all these things. And these are fighters that can grow. And I think when you do start late, that's really a plus for you, because you can kind of catch up fast, because you can process everything that's going on, and you process it as it happens. Now, Akeela, let me ask you this. Let's say you are successful, which we're believing you're going to be successful. You handle your business in your first fight in Invicta. Where do you want to go from there? Like, are you the type, are you going to come in the ring and say, okay, well, I want her next, or I want this person next? Or are you just going to kind of take it as it comes? Or are you going to call a name out? What are you looking at doing? I know you're not looking past your opponent, but what are you looking at after that fight, if you could speak on that?
See, it's so hard to say, because when I say I don't look past my next opponent, I really don't.
I like that too. All right.
So I wouldn't even know how to answer that.
That's cool. So we locked in. You know what? We don't have to worry about that. We won't talk about that. We'll talk about your opponent. And here, I got another hashtag, Coach. I got another. It just hit me. Are you ready for another one, Coach?
Let's see it. Because you got this girl. Hey, I got this girl laughing. And she hard to make laugh. You got to laugh.
I got another hashtag for her, because she's so real. Akeela. The hashtag for Akeela is hashtag I mean what I say. That's what I'm talking about. Will that one work, Akeela? Will that one work? I mean what I say. It's another thing I'm picking up on Akeela. She's gonna say what she means, and she's gonna mean what she say. And I have a feeling, Akeela, if we knew your story, you've probably been like that for a lot of years. That's probably just been your personality for a lot of years. And this also is another thing, Coach, that lets you know you're in with a dangerous fighter. Like, if you're an opponent of Akeela, if she's saying I'm coming in here to do work, she's really coming in the octagon to do work. Coach, where do you see, like, if you look at Akeela, you look at, maybe, I guess, for instance, again, not looking past where she's going, you see her being successful in this fight because of what is the main trait she has where you see her being successful in her upcoming fight?
She find a way to win where there's not a way. Because I've actually seen her fight a fight where she was dominating. I've seen a fight where she actually had to dig deep, bite her mouthpiece, and come back. I've seen her, where she actually had to do different things to get the result that she desired. But again, she's going to find a way to win, because she's aware of the octagon. And it's really strange, somebody who, started so late, but her senses are intact. She's she's very prepared. You can tell she's prepared. And when she gets a hit, she's not overly panicking. She's just reacting to her natural, spirit, which is to be aggressive and to go. So she take that as, like, some people are calm, some people are very calm when they get hit and they're thinking through it. She's calm, but then she just turns aggressive. It's like she turned into a darn she turned into a darn Super Saiyan. after she get hit. I mean, Akeela ass will power up, man, and bam, because she took a shot in one of her fights, and it was in the Ellis fight. She took a shot, and it's like, okay, it's almost like she was enraged, man, and she went and she took Marissa Ellis down like in an instant, just took her down. And it's like, okay, so she took this formidable opponent, turned this opponent from being formidable into somebody trying to survive a rear naked choke. I mean, that's what she did to her. And I'm like, whoa. So when this girl get hit, you know, y'all better watch out. She reminds me of Marcos Maidana. You know, when he get dropped, he get back up and then he turn up he turn it up on you. It's like she do the same thing. So yeah, I don't think trying to hit her or, you know, thinking you're getting away with it, that's not working, you know. And I think even in 2 years, I see Akeela, you know, being in the UFC, and I hate to see her giving those girls hell, like pure hell in that division, bantamweight or featherweight. Matter of fact, it'll be up to her, you know, which division she want to go give people problems in.
And I think that too, Coach. I definitely see that on Akeela. Akeela, I'm sorry, I'm still laughing about the Super Saiyan thing you said.
It is funny.
That was really funny, that Super Saiyan, because it's like you could just picture it. You could just picture the Super Saiyan thing happening. So when you look at the fight game as it stands now, Akeela, like who are some of the fighters, and you know, not saying you look up to, but like who are some of your favorite active fighters now? Like whether it be Invicta, UFC, who are some of the ladies you look up to and you go, I like the way she gets down, I like her fighting style?
I like Shevchenko.
Okay, coach, that's our favorite, coach.
God, dog, I knew we had something in common. You know what? And all you people, you running around here, and I'm gonna tell you, fanboys, now that y'all didn't think Valentina deserved that title shot at flyweight. Look here, now I got another Shevchenko fan right here.
Hey,
there you go.
You know what? I kind of, I don't know. She gonna take it. That's hers.
You think? Yeah, Valentina. Yeah. And I think one thing that you probably
Pavel has a plan. That's
like about Shevchenko. He does. Pavel always has a plan. But one thing you probably like about Shevchenko, she's a thinking fighter too. You know, she's a fighter that's actually in there processing and she's thinking. So speaking of Shevchenko, we got in these other fights, we got to get into a little section we do before we let you go here. This is Coach's favorite part. He likes to know certain things. What did you think about Rose Namajunas?
Yeah, I knew you was gonna say that.
We have to. Go ahead.
So Rose trains with Shevchenko, and Shevchenko beat Joanna, I think 2 or 3 times.
3 times.
So basically, Shevchenko was like, "Hey, Rose, look, this how you beat her," and then that was it.
Blueprint. So you saying it was a blueprint?
And Rose is very good. Rose is very calm, and I think she's the most underrated 115 technical, like all around game. Because Joanna is good too. She's great stand up, but she just doesn't display anything on the ground, and that's fine. But I think Rose's all around game is more technical than any other 115 in the UFC. And she takes beatings too. You know, Shevchenko is giving her the business, and her sister too. So yeah, they gave her the blueprint. Like, look, check this out. This is what you do. You change the rhythm up a little bit, and then just jump in.
That's exactly what she did too. That's
exactly what she did, Coach. Akeela just called it. That's exactly what she did.
Joanna Jacek got put down, and she might have went to sleep. And I think if they fight again, she probably going to sleep. There's nothing that Joanna Jacek. She fighting. She in a sparring with some of the best in the world. There's nothing she ain't seen now.
Yep.
Joanna can't give her nothing she ain't seen.
Yep.
Coach, I have to ask Coach, I have to ask Akeela this. Akeela, speaking of that fight, Coach would be mad at me if I didn't ask you this. See, he wants me to ask. He won't ask, but he'll want me. I'll ask right now. Here's the question.
Yeah. Throw me under the bus. I got you.
Did Joanna tap or not, Akeela?
Yes, she did. Yes. Come on, man.
Yes.
Yes, she did.
She said she didn't tap.
Her hand go up and down.
Coach, I know you love that, Coach. I know you love that.
I'm gonna play this back every chance I get. I'm gonna play this every chance I get.
You know what,
man.
Coach? I knew that answer was coming because I know Akeela's gonna keep it real. So since I know Akeela's gonna keep it real, that was, you know, my thing about the whole thing about her not tapping, and this is we respect all fighters on this show. Anybody who does that, we respect. Joanna's a beast, she's a fighter, but we're just keeping it real right now.
Yeah.
You know, when we see your hand tapping, it's just a tap.
Yep.
You know, it's not to say that you're trash or you're garbage or you won't come again, but we're just saying when when Rose was hitting you in the back of the head, your hand tapped. We just saw it.
Yep.
So it's just like, you know, there's no disrespect there. It's keeping it real. You feel me, Akeela, right?
Yeah,
you feel me, right?
Totally. You know, who knows what was going through Joanna's head at that moment? Who knows?
A fist?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
A fist? A fist. A fist. It was a fist.
Stop it, coach. Stop it right now. Stop it.
And you know what? Maybe Joanna wasn't hurt, and let's just say, you know, let's give her the benefit of the doubt. Say she wasn't hurt, but in training, whenever she was in situations like that, she's always tapped.
Yes.
So who knows? Maybe she was fine, and just off of instinct, she tapped, and then was like, "Oh fuck." You know what I mean? Exactly. So we don't know.
Wait a minute. So you trying to say that ain't nobody in training just say, Joanna, what are you doing? Why are you tapping? You're gonna do that in the octagon. Hey, no, you get back up. You get in there.
I've heard, because Spartan is the only gym that I've ever been to, I've heard that a lot of people who make it to the top don't train how they used to train when they were on the bottom. So sometimes they don't get hit. Sometimes they get treated like a little girl. So who knows? Sometimes, you know, they got a lot of yes people around them. So you know, who knows?
You never know.
But that's not you, right?
No.
Come on now.
Some days I wish, but no, I don't come through like that.
No, it don't come through like that at all. And we got a lot of great people listening to this. Akeela, we got a lot. I want to say, Akeela, I got another one, coach. And this one is from my dad listening to the interview. He said he said he has his own hashtag. He just wrote it and gave it to me. Hashtag for Akeela right now. After listening to Akeela, he said his hashtag, this is for him. He said his hashtag is hashtag, I would hate for her to be mad at me. So that's his hashtag. That's my pops. That's my hashtag to you, Akeela. Hashtag, I would hate.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you.
She said, thank you, Dad. So it's like, I would hate for her to be mad at me. Also, we got a lot of great people here in the comment section. Shout out to my man, K Black Boxing. Go subscribe to that page. Great channel. Go subscribe to that brother's page. And we got everything going in now. Akeela, I got another fight coming up. Coach, I got to ask you about this one, too.
Oh, man.
You know, you probably know where I'm going. Holly Holm, Chris Cyborg. You got to get your thoughts on the fight. What do you think about the fight, Akeela?
This is such a hard fight to call.
Uh-oh.
It's such a hard fight. Because the biggest thing that stand out in this fight is they about the same size. And Cyborg has great rhythm. She has phenomenal rhythm. But Holly Holm has timing. And I don't know. You know, I don't think that either. I don't know. It's just so hard. You can't say one's going to get knocked out or this one's going to get knocked out.
Oh, but the coach can.
We'll see how
I think
that.
Oh, yeah.
Don't listen to him, Akeela. Keep talking, Akeela. Go ahead. Keep talking.
This fight's going the distance.
I don't know. You know, I don't know which way to call it.
See, he got mad at me.
I like them both.
He got mad at me when I did that. He got mad at me, Akeela, when I did that. He wasn't feeling that answer. So, Coach, go ahead.
That's because you're not Akeela. Now, if you was Akeela, Akeela can get away with 1,000 times more. And I'm gonna just be like, yep.
I feel you.
See, I'm gonna break it down to both of y'all. Let me tell you. He got the atmosphere of the fight. Okay. Holly is gonna get through round one. She is. Okay.
Yep.
Now she's gonna go back to her corner. She's going to get that ice pack on her neck. They're going to put it on the front of her head because she got hit with a clean right hand by Cyborg. Okay, now listen now. I'm not done with this. Now hold on. Now you can't laugh. Don't laugh at me. Okay. They're gonna put that ice bag on Holly. Holly is gonna be talking, and he's gonna say, "Listen, you got this. It was beautiful. Hey, you got this thing going. We can do this." Holly is gonna look past Mike Winklejohn. She's gonna look over her left shoulder, and in the audience, she's gonna see a glare. It's going to be a shining glare. It's going to be that bald-headed whisker biscuit bastard named Dana White, and he's going to be looking, and she's going to be looking at Dana, saying, "You knew that this shit was going to happen to me. You knew it was going to happen.
Stop it.
And now, it's over for me." That's what she's going to say.
Oh my
Holly's
God.
going to lose this fight. She's out of here. She's losing this
round?
fight.
What round?
What
I'm gonna
round?
give it to the third round. And you know what? I give it 3 or 4 rounds because Mike Winkeljohn said that she was gonna knock Chris Cyborg out in 4 or 5 rounds. So I'm gonna give Holly 3 or 4 rounds. Yeah, that's what he said. He said Chris Cyborg going to sleep. That's what he said.
You know what though? I would say this though. See, this is why it's so hard to call because Holly Holm got knocked out by Ann. Granted, that was boxing. She got knocked out cold by Ann. But also, Cyborg got head kicked by Jarena Bars.
Yep.
Granted, that was Muay Thai, but you know, I don't know.
I think Jarena Bars got more tools in the tool set. I respect them because they get in that octagon. I just feel like Holly never evolved. I think her stand-up is phenomenal, but I think she's a kickboxer that they put in the octagon. That she's been able to use her footwork, her superior footwork. She's been able to use her good jab, and she's been able to win fights. But you get these all-around fighters, like, and I keep breaking down people like, okay, so Miesha Tate not even a striker, but Miesha Tate actually does have some defense. She can defend well, and she moves at an angle. And when I started doing film study, I'm like, she's got a problem with people that can move laterally. Like she got a problem with that. And she got a problem. Like you look at how Jermaine Durandame fought her. Look at how Valentina fought her. But then you look at how Betch Correia and Ronda Rousey fought her. It's like they fought the totally different game plan. Like Ronda's hopping around like a rabbit. So Holly, she gonna see that, and she just kept catching Ronda at every cost. And then you had Betch Correia, who she really wouldn't engage Holly Holm. That's the fight. When you don't engage Holly Holm, she gonna pick you apart. That's the fight that she wanted to fight. So, but then you get these high-level strikers, and you see how she does against these high-level opponents, and it's kind of startling how these people, they can actually make Holly react in different ways. That's what I noticed, But again, it's MMA. To me, it's MMA. Anything can happen. So I'm not saying she don't have a 0% chance of winning. That's stupid. She does have a chance to win. Oh, absolutely. And she could catch Cyborg with a head kick. She could. Like Winkeljohn said, go night-night. Winkeljohn, in my opinion, thought that Holly was going to get her ass whooped. He can't say that anyway. So what is he supposed to say? Well, Holly's going to, survive. She's going to survive those rounds, and we're going to get that payday, and I can go get me another boat. No, he's supposed to say, because if he won't run a, could you imagine Winkeljohn, your coach, Akeela, he's saying, yeah, Akeela's going to, she's going to survive those rounds. Yeah, I think we'll get to the end of the fight. I mean, what would you do if your coach was saying that?
Yeah, I need another coach.
There you go.
I need me another coach.
I gotta switch it up. Akeela, as you look at the fighters, and it's very interesting because we won't whenever your time comes up, because we know and believe you will be fighting these ladies soon in the near future, we'll say. So as you look at, like, let's start with Holly Holm. If you look at Holly Holm, how would you just approach it with your fighting style? How would you look at it and say, this is how I would approach a fight with Holly Holm?
I try to make Holly Holm come forward. I think Holly Holm fights best on her back foot, and I'm blast doubling.
It is again, blast double.
I'm a blast double.
Blast double on it, double it. That's what I'm saying. But if you notice, Coach, here it is again. Every time I say with Akeela when she gives her point, thinking fighter, and that's such a, like she said, she notices what the other fighter, and I think the best fighters who actually have the longest career, fighters who just say, I'm gonna come forward and take punishment, they're fun to watch, but they usually don't last that long. They shoot up like a bottle rocket, but they come back down. But fighters who actually think, and I think the key thing to it, and like it's kind of what Akeela was just saying, is that when you see what your opponent does not like to do, that's what you want to try to force them to do in a fight. So just like you said, Holly, she doesn't want to come forward, so you would step back, make her try to come forward, then blast double. Okay, so now you're looking at Cyborg. Let's turn the table to Cyborg. As you look at Cyborg, how would you approach a fight with her?
Box.
She said quick too.
I box her.
Yeah, just move it around.
no matter if she takes you down, she's not gonna want to submit you. Even if she can, even if she's in the position to submit you, she isn't going to. She just want to punch you.
Yeah.
So I would use a lot of movement, a lot of lateral movement, and just box. Head movement for sure.
And see, coach, did you hear what you said about Cyborg?
Yeah, I mean that's I would make her feel I would make her respect my power like Jarena Bars did. And I know it's two different fights. I know one was in a ring and one was in the octagon, but I have to look at the fights and I have to kind of compare them because Holly Holm, she ain't gonna try to take you down most of the time. She's gonna try to use her stand up to try to nullify everything you do. She tried to do a takedown against Jermaine Durandame and it didn't work. Her body not used to it. Her body's not used to really doing those high level takedowns. So her best bet is to stand and make Cyborg respect some kind of power and then box it, like you said, because yeah, she try to go in or get close, it's over. It's gonna be over fast.
Yeah. I think Cyborg's just they may be the same strength wise. Because Holly Holm was pretty goddamn strong, but technique wise, Cyborg's got the upper hand. So it'd be too easy for Cyborg just to take her down, or even in the clinch, it'd just be too easy for Cyborg. She's got too much experience there.
See, that's something that you touched on, Akeela, and I people got to understand it. You said that you would make Holly come to you. That's what Valentina and that's what Jermaine Durandame did. That's what they did.
That's what I was gonna say. Valentina made her go first.
And she didn't like it. She was uncomfortable for the whole fight. You could see it in Holly's face. She was super uncomfortable during that fight.
Yep.
Wow. Again, thinking fighter. This is what I love about Akeela's fight game. Thinking fight. And I like when you ask a fighter, how would you fight this fighter? And then how would you fight this fighter? And they give you two different game plans. See, that lets you know that this is a fighter. Because some fighters, you'd be surprised. Sometimes you can interview fighters and you can ask them, how would you fight three different fighters? And they'll give you the same game plan for all three fighters because that's the way they feel they fight, which is fine if that's what you do. Because I believe if that's the only thing you can do, then you need to get, just as, you need to maximize that. But if you have the ability and you can do different things, I think it's great for fighters to be able to look at different game plans because the best fighters can win fights in different ways. I've noticed that in combat sports, in boxing and in MMA. The top level fighters, they don't have to beat you the same way. Coach said about one of Akeela's fights, he said he saw you down and he had to see you come back. And that just showed heart and grit. Coach, when you saw Akeela do that, what did you say to yourself about Akeela? Did you say, okay, this is someone, this is the real deal here? What did she prove? Not prove to you. Well, prove to you. What did she prove to you as a fighter when you saw that?
I mean, I saw somebody who's definitely ahead of her time. She's definitely ahead of her time, and probably 2 fights ago, she was probably ready to be in Invicta. But I know she's a perfectionist, so everything to her has to be like perfect. It can't be no loose ends. And when coach told her, hey, it's time for Invicta, I think if Akeela felt like she wasn't ready, she wouldn't be going to Invicta. So, but I feel like she was ready a long time ago because she does a lot of things well. And now that I'm getting like in those first fights, she's still late in the game, and a lot of stuff beginning it was instinctive. Like she was doing stuff instinctively that's already in there, that's there. So she was already a fighter that was just waiting to happen anyway. And she can face adversity. I mean, she's done it. She did it in one of her toughest fights, and I wouldn't say she was visibly hurt in that fight. I mean, I don't think she was visibly like hurt to where she was gonna like, oh, okay, God, I don't think I'm really hurt. I don't know. I got to dig deep, but she got clipped a few times. But man, how she responded and what she did, I'm telling you, that homegirl, she went from standing on her feet to being choked out, and it's like she took the girl ragdolled her. And I'm like, whoa, what was this? And then, Akeela closed the darn distance so fast. I'm like, man, I had to play it back in slow motion to see just how fast it took her to get there to get that first step. Once Akeela had the first step, it was over. She couldn't do anything to defend that takedown. It was done. So this girl is going places, and I keep saying it, and I'm glad that I'm interviewing her now, like right now. Okay, I'm interviewing her before, her name get up on billboards and all this stuff. I'm glad because I actually see, what she gonna do to even live up to her own expectations, not our expectations, hers. What she gonna do. And she said, she hit the nail on the head. you know, she really reminded me a lot of Floyd Mayweather, not of his bravado, but the work ethic, you know, because he still trains like he a poor man, you know, and he got all those millions, and you know, she brought that up. So I have the utmost respect. Okay, I got the utmost respect for her, and she is amazing, amazing
Absolutely.
fighter.
And I agree. I second that, Akeela. And I know we don't have a lot of time left. We don't want to hold you too long. I do want to say that this is something I forgot to ask you. We like to hear, like, what is your normal grind? Like, I know you mentioned this morning you started at 5 a.m. So is that like your, like, do you do 2 days? What's your normal day? How do you start and how do you finish on a normal training day?
No, I do way more than 2 a day.
I knew it. I knew it was coming.
So the thing is, you want to keep your body going without it breaking down.
Yeah.
And I train all day. And then in between time, I eat. I may take a nap. I may run some errands. But I'll train from 5 a.m. to 8:30 at night.
Yeah. Wow.
And, well, and I think it comes from my childhood, you know, with playing outside all day. I remember going down to the rec center and playing basketball for 8 hours.
Yep.
But it wouldn't be the whole 8 hours, but you'd play for 2 hours, then you go up to the corner store, hang out for about an hour, then you come back, and then you play again for a little bit. Then you might go to your friend's house for a second, then you come back, you know. So it's the same thing, and I just carried it over.
Yeah. I think we grew up in the same neighborhood, Akeela. I just think we didn't
too.
Yeah, we didn't run into each other out there, but it was the same type of thing out there. You know, you leave from the court, go play a few video games, go back out to the court. Then, you know, it's the whole grind and doesn't stop.
But you know what he was doing, Akeela? He was sitting back here hating, talking about, you know, he could probably beat you in any other sport. You know, and that's where you came on.
No, I didn't, Akeela. No.
And listen. I'm finna go ahead and tell you now. Any other sport, you know, that requires him to sit in front of a video game. He said he can beat you in Madden. He said he can beat you in UFC. UFC 3. He said he can beat you in all those games. I mean,
a fight night, I'm always down. Now I will say that fight night champion, I'm down there. I can roll a fight night champ. We got to get that popping, Akeela.
Yep. We gonna get it cracking with fight night.
Yes, sir. That's going down. It's going down for real. So yeah, we definitely gonna do that. But no, Akeela, do you have, before we close out here, do you have, where can these fans find you? All these people now coming through mentioning these great things about you. The people that'll be listening. Coach is gonna pull it up for you, but as Coach is pulling it up, go ahead and shout out there to the fans. Tell us where we can find you on social media.
Yeah, so you can find me on Facebook. It's just my full name, Akeela, A.K. Al-Hameed, and that A.K. is just a little nickname somebody gave me. Instagram, A.K. Hashashin. I like that little last Hashashin, you know.
Yeah, dope.
Little assassin right there.
Calling us an assassin, God, dog.
I'm telling you, going down.
Jokers, boy.
They're not playing.
You're gonna be assassinating some folks.
I already told you it's going down. Now, and your date on your fight is your fight coming up in Invicta. Go ahead and tell them the date on that fight, Akeela.
So the date is January 13th, and that's in Kansas City. We're gonna do it big out there.
That's right. Looking forward to it.
It's that Scottish Rite Temple. Hey.
Yep.
Man, and this, you know, we got a Akeela Facebook page, and you know, guys, man, this girl's going places, y'all. Everybody's showing her love. Everybody's showing her love. Like you got people giving you the hard eyes and all this stuff, boy. They love you, Akeela.
Yeah, I heard people talking about the braids. They was like, I'm feeling a braid. So they coming all through with the eyes. They going at it. And you guys, when you see this page, click like on this page, follow Akeela, up and coming. Coach, Akeela, I got to ask you this. After your Invicta fight, can we get you back? Can you come back for your next fight? We got to have you back. We want this to be your second home.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
First home. Nah, we were, first home, girl. We just don't, hey, first home. That's right. Hey, I'm glad we get the interview, man. I'm telling you, boy, that's like I'm realizing just so much stuff right now, man. I'm interviewing another great fighter. Like this crazy.
Up and coming.
Wow.
Well, you guys,
man. Well, I'm proud of you, Akeela. I'm proud of you.
Me too. And best of luck. We know you're gonna do your thing. We just want to say, like, you know, the appreciation, and you never know when people hear this, the role model you are for people, Akeela, the role model you are for people around you. Because when we talk about growing up, you know, one thing you think about growing up, we think about all the other kids that were around us, all other people. So when people see you coming up, and we know this is just the beginning for you, this whole Invicta debut is just the beginning. You will continue to be a great a role model for people, and you know, kudos to you, props to you, and we can't wait to get you back on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No
Hey,
problem.
Akeela, I got
Yeah.
one last question.
Yeah.
Can you rap?
Man, I tried when I was younger.
I was about to say,
Go ahead.
man, you should do a duet freestyle, but well, I guess you messed up that dream for me, didn't you,
Well,
Akeela?
well, I mean, I could put a little something together.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Are you talking about freestyle, or can I use my pen and my pad?
Oh, you can use your pen and your pad then.
Okay, then you're going to get back to me when I check back.
Yeah, all right. You know what? That's it. That's it. The next show, this part, everybody heard it now. Everybody heard it right now. The very next time we have Akeela on, she's gonna have something hot for you. Her and Coach are gonna get the duet popping live. I can't wait for that one.
Yeah.
All right. And Akeela, I'm also doing a post-fight analysis video on your fight after you're done. I'm gonna break your fight down, and I'm gonna be there right there supporting you the whole way. So you definitely got support over here. You know, hey, you know, you don't even have to ask. You know, hey, Coach, man, I got this going on. You think you can broadcast it? Good. Hey, I'm right there. So
That's right.
you know, that's the least I can do.
We got you,
Thank
Akeela.
you.
We got you. We promise we got you.
Okay, well, guys, on behalf of Akeela, Al-Hameed.
Al-Hameed.
Ah, God.
Hi.
Say
Okay,
just say Akeela the assassin. That works for me.
all right. Hey, on behalf of Akeela the assassin, and not the quiet assassin. No. This is the one that's gonna tell you she finna assassinate you, and then go do it. And Amazing Eric of Amazing Eric. Amazing Eric is the best moderator on YouTube. Guys, we want to thank you guys for y'all joining us. And guys, stay tuned, because me and Amazing Eric, we're gonna be at it again. And guys, the next one, ooh, buddy, it's gonna be good, y'all. It's gonna be great. But this young lady says she's gonna be back, y'all.
Coach,
yes, sir.
Drop her fight date one more time as you close. Drop Akeela's fight date, who she's gonna be
January
fighting.
13th. She's gonna be fighting Felica Spencer. And you know, I should have put her face up here on the screen, but I think y'all will get used to it, because after Akeela is done with her face, it's not gonna be the same face anymore. You know, and I'm just saying that. She's not saying that. I said that, but you know, that's how much I believe in her skill set.
All right, Invicta debut. Okay, you guys hit that like button. Go out. We'll catch you on the next one. Everybody have a good day. We'll holler at you guys soon. Peace out, fam. Peace.
We love you guys.